Joining me now on the Women's Basketball Podcast from Charlotte at ACC Tipoff is reigning ACC Player of the Year and Hidalgo.
Yes.
How was your off season?
It was great. Actually, I got time to relax. I got time to travel, see my family. So it was a great off season. Work on my game too.
Awesome. I wanted to ask you about a very serious question.
Yes.
I read your Players Tribune story last year, and the thing that jumped out to me is you're a Dragon Ball Z fan.
Yeah. I used to watch Dragon Ball Z all the time. Me and my brothers.
Okay, so that's how you got into it with your brothers.
Yeah.
Okay. Do we have a favorite character?
I would say I don't really watch it now, but it was definitely Goku.
Okay.
Goku
Gotcha.
for sure.
You don't have have a favorite episode or anything like that?
No.
Okay. All right. Just curious how much you're still into it. I watched it a lot when I was a kid too.
Yeah.
So coming into last college season, the big question was like, all right, well, Caitlin and Angel are gone. Who's going to kind of step up and be the stars of the sport now? And I think last year you were one of the people that kind of rose to the top, along with Juju Watkins and Paige Beckers.
Mm-hmm.
Juju unfortunately is hurt this year. Paige is gone. Are you comfortable kind of, sort of stepping into that void as a star in the sport and kind of dealing with that pressure?
Yeah, I think for one, I have a great support system. I have a great foundation. So I know the media a lot. They try and put a lot of pressure on, you're coming up. How's it going to be this year? But, I put my trust in Christ first. And I think, with that foundation, that I have nothing to fear.
Yeah. You, speaking of being a star, you had ESPN following you around last year for this documentary, Full Court Press. What was that like?
Yeah, it was a blessing. Honestly, it was great. Normally a lot of times you might get tired of the cameras, but kind of having them around, it was great for them to get the behind the scenes and to kind of get who I am truly as a person outside of basketball, because a lot of times fans only see what you do on the court and they don't really see too much of outside, especially because I'm a private person. So for them to follow me around and be able to get, the behind the scenes with me and my family and things like that was great.
Yeah. Did you watch the documentary after the fact?
Yeah, we actually had a little premiere, and we watched, the first episode and things like that. So even to see the other two players that were along with me, Kiki and Flage, which is great to kind of see them off the court too.
Yeah. Did you feel like it was well done and you were well represented?
Oh, absolutely. I think they told my story very well, I thought.
Ooh, good. I think a lot of people are focusing with you guys this year on how last season ended. With that team had so much potential and so much hype, and then you had a couple losses and a couple of long post-game meetings. After some reflection on it, how would you define kind of how last season ended? Like what went wrong exactly?
Yeah, I think. I wouldn't say I know exactly kind of what went wrong. It was just, things happen. And like I always say, everything happens for a reason. We did have a lot of talent and we kind of underachieved. But, this team this year, I'm super excited for, what we have to bring. I think everybody brings something different. I think all the ingredients fit together like a snickerdoodle cookie, like everything is just mixed together well. And, I think the chemistry is just so great for us.
Yeah, snickerdoodle cookie. I like that.
Snickerdoodle. You like snickerdoodle cookie?
Yeah, sure.
Exactly. You get it.
You're the only full-time starter returning from last season's roster. Got started a couple games. But lost a lot, right? Graduation,
absolutely.
Portal, the whole thing. Which one of your teammates are you going to miss playing with the most?
I miss all of them that left. I feel like everybody brought something so different, and it was like we needed every single piece to win the games that we won. But it'll be tough. Again, everybody brought something so different. It was like coming down Sony, her scoring ability, or Leah too, her ability to, get old boards and, being undersized. Like, we just had so much different firepower from different positions. Like, we did lose a lot, but we also built a lot too. We had this blank canvas that we keep talking about this year. So I'm excited.
Yeah. You did play again with Liv at the America. What was that like? And, just kind of being on the same team as her again.
Yeah, I think, me and Liv, we played well with each other at USA. So, it's always great at USA when you get to play with other, good players. So that was exciting.
Yeah. How are things standing with her at this moment?
She decided to make the decision to leave. So, wish her all the best. But, that's really all.
Sure. I was going to ask you, sticking with the America for a second, you played for Kara Lawson there.
Yeah.
And you've played against her teams at Duke. And now she is the Team USA coach for the next cycle through the 2028 Olympics. What was it like playing for her, and how do you think, what does she bring to Team USA?
Oh yeah. For one, I'm so happy for her. I think she's a great coach, and I think her basketball mind is unlike any other. And so what she's going to bring to Team USA is something that probably no other coach have brought before, just because, the way she thinks. She's done it on multiple different levels. And, just playing for her, at USA was, different, I love playing for her. I think, again, she has a great basketball mind, defensive minded first, and I knew that, playing against her, when she coaches at Duke. So,
Yeah.
It'll be fun.
Are there big differences between, I guess, her style and Coach Ivy's?
I would say so. They're two different people. But me and Coach Ivy, we have a different, connection, a different relationship. Of course, as my head coach, it has been for the past 2 years. So yeah. I would say it's different.
I was going to ask you this later, but since we talked about Coach Ivy, I saw this clip and read that she said, I think it was last year, that in her prime, she would beat you in a game with one-on-one.
Yeah, I know somebody else said that too.
How did that game go?
You know what? I'm not going to lie. Coach Ivy was a great player. She was a great player. I watched the highlights a couple times, but Coach Ivy wouldn't beat me now. She wouldn't beat me in her prime. She wouldn't beat me ever.
Okay. Back to, this roster this season. You have 7 newcomers.
Yeah.
Who do you see kind of making a big impact so far and what you've seen so far in practice?
I think everybody that's on the team that has come that's new, and even the people that didn't play last year, KK, are all going to make a major impact. And I think we have a lot of sleepers. I think a lot of people might be, sleeping on our team for sure, just because we had so much talent last year that we lost, and we definitely had to rebuild. But the girls that we have now worked so hard. They give it their all every day in practice, every drill. Whether we're just shooting, they give it their all, and so it's going to be exciting.
You mentioned you feel like some people are kind of sleeping on you guys, whereas last year you had all the hype. Do you kind of like flying under the radar a little bit more? Oh,
I grew up the underdog, so kind of having that, people not having too much expectation, and that's surprising people is always good. Honestly, we believe in ourselves. We believe in our coaching staff, and first and foremost, we believe in what Christ has put in us, and we believe God is going to take us to different places.
We, it feels like every year we keep saying we're in this new era with women's college basketball because the viewership and then the portal and then NIL and now the house settlement and revenue sharing is here. How do you feel like Notre Dame is kind of dealing with that, the rev share part of this?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Now we have agents now, so it's like they are able to handle kind of all the money talks, and I'm just able to say yes or no.
You have an agent, you let that person
they handle all the money. I don't get involved. I just do my schoolwork and play basketball.
Now that you've been in the ACC for 2 years, I kind of wanted to ask you a couple rapid fire stuff. What's your favorite road arena in this league?
My favorite road arena? Probably. It's tough. Low-key, I love UConn.
Okay.
Low-key, UConn.
Do you have a least favorite road arena?
Least favorite? Probably Virginia Tech.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like
I've heard that before.
NC
State.
Yeah. It's like that was my first time playing there, and it was like a bowl, and everybody just sitting on top. It just makes it feel like so much smaller than you got. It was all red everywhere. So.
NC State and Virginia Tech are popular.
Yeah, just because of it's like a bowl.
Yeah, Virginia Tech is kind of just a big.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What can we expect from Cass this year?
Yeah, it's going to be exciting. She's taking on a different role, a bigger role. And so she's going to be able to, really prove herself this year and, how much she's been in the gym and been working. So, I think she's definitely a sleeper that a lot of people might be sleeping on. But, I think she'll surprise a lot of people.
Okay, cool.
Awesome.
I'll get you out of here on that. Hannah Hidalgo, Notre Dame women's basketball, joining us on the Women's Basketball Podcast. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.